Julius, Madonna. Satu-satunya asediakannya untuk satu-satunya. Pantufa, Shinseria, Yasiria, Fatsundia, Katasura,
I thought most Vex malfunctioned when they were exposed to dark matter, but that new shielding incorporated it.
Most go haywire. They harness the energy of the Nine, but it's assimilation, not like how the Guardian borrows it or an emissary embodies it. The relationship between the Light and the Nine may speak to why Maya is here. Vex interact with the fourth dimension, but can't exist in it. The Nine can't create or use paracausality, but they are the rules that enable and regulate it. The Vex are intrigued by this.
As am I. Orin, trace the power the Vex are using back to its source. And then, Guardian, you destroy it.
I felt it when we dismantled that mind. The heartbeat barricaded behind time.
A time barricade? Let's look for another blocked path.
The Nine don't dabble in coincidence, and everything here is lining up too well. If the Vex are stealing power, the Nine are at least allowing it.
I'd rather not think of the implications.
You've got me, 3. I'm paying attention now. I hate these even more. Focus, Ray. Here and now. You're entering the Vex exclusion zone, Guardian. Find how they're co-opting the Nine's power and put a stop to it.
Deep scans are picking up dark matter and deep mantle drilling. This place looks like a quarry geared towards mining out the anomaly's power.
So they're using 3 on the other side to strengthen their shields? We can't remove all the dark matter, but we can neutralize the threat long enough to push deeper into the canyons. I want this refinery in flames, Guardian.
You're carrying a lot of energy, probably enough to shatter that conflux pylon. That should lower the barrier and let us out.
You are here. This is where they refine their power.
Wait, I'm picking up Elixir signatures. The House of Exile just ignited a glimmer drill.
One enemy force stealing the Nine's power is enough. Shut down their operation. Then we deal with the Vex.
That's the last of the Exiles. Now for the Vex. Guardian, you're looking for a series of conversion engines tied to conflux pylons.
Like I said, Guardian. Leave it in flames.
That's the last converter. Refiner. Whatever. The Vex can't convert any more dark matter. Wait. Vex mine incoming!
The Overseer, who holds Hourglass Sands.
I bet they break just the same.
The Titan in me is blushing.
Shielded. Our weapons won't work.
You'll need the Nine's power to punch through.
Why would the Vex need the Nine for shielding? I've seen a Minotaur phase through time to dodge an attack.
Against something paracausal, that phasing is a coin flip. The fourth dimension doesn't have that hindrance.
Knowing the Nine can subvert our agency is bad enough. But you're saying they can predict futures the Vex can't?
The Vex find a future that suits them. The Nine engineer one through. Intermediaries and pressure.
Surely they follow some rules.
Ikora, I know what it feels like to have your autonomy brushed aside. That woman is dead, and Lodi worked hard to protect her memory. But in the eyes of the Nine, you exist simultaneously. A constant.
Stop, Orin. These borders matter. I know who I am. Maya's Vex co-opting Nine energy is a bad sign. Even if you don't think they're working together.
I remember her, but her transformation is a blind spot. What happened that turned her into the conductor?
A fragment of paracausal power touched down on Nessus, and one of her simulations rose out of the VexNet and claimed it. Originally, she was looking for her wife, Chioma, but the Vex she co-opted began to change, to individualize.
She will not find her wife here, but she will find a being who knows.
Guardian, I've got confirmed intel. The Vex mine maintaining the quarantine has the last strangelet we need to reach 3.
My final tethers to the Nine are snapping. I feel like a live wire fraying. The charge is still there, sparking at the ends.
You won't miss that power? The station? It's a lot to walk from.
The Nine's power, the light, it all came from...
That's strange. Some of the radiolaria in the Vex down here is reading as being from, well, not our timeline. They're trying to wall off our path. We'll have to push through some familiar territory to reach the mine maintaining the dampening field.
If the Guardian dismantles it, we'll have enough Strangelet capsules to safely reach the Singularity.
And 3's on the other side with our message. One step closer to an answer. One last leap of faith. If Maya can already manipulate time, why all this friction?
Unlike the Nine, they're bound by their dimension. Chronal flow applies to all. Time moves forward, never backward. I want answers too, Ikora. We're simultaneous.
Looks like we're about to hit resistance. Get ready.
Resistance. You have reached an end, little ghost. Seeking to avert a catastrophe after the fact. You will wear yourself dark from battle before it ever cuts deep enough to draw blood. But you will try.
It's an ambush, Guardian. Take cover. They're trying to lock us in. Clear a path and let's look for a way to disable those barriers.
I thought this message was for me, Guardian, not you.
The Nine keeps stringing us along. Do they always get the future they determine?
Time is chord notation, the known possible scale of everything. But if the tone is set, why scheme against fate? Still, the Nine try, don't they?
Chords have variance to a degree. Tiny alterations in a range.
You're catching on. The Titan in me misses helping people. The city might do me some good.
Heavy Vex presence ahead. They're trading fire with an exile raiding party.
But thankfully, no giant minotaurs this time.
The Archon must be using us as a distraction to breach the Vex quarantine.
Too bad they crossed paths with you, Guardian.
Guardian, destroying that brig deactivated a nearby exile signal. I think they had sealed off one of these buildings.
This... a door in waiting. A bridge across space.
You know, there's remnants of Elixir technological signatures in the assimilated architecture here. The house must have been right on top of the anomaly before the Vex pushed them out.
The Archon's been trying to get back in ever since. It makes me think they'll make a push once we bring down the dampening field.
We'll need to be ready. But right now, we kill the noise. Kill the noise and hear our answers. There's static. A hook? I haven't felt this since I was emissary. One of the 9 want to speak.
Quitter. Is that you, Buttercup? Release me from those filthy, fleshy hands.
No. My hand resigned a broken contract.
Orin, what's happening?
An unthinkable glimpse. An order. Drawing pinpoint aversion.
No, too cryptic, Quitter. You want to know how we saved you? Your big ball never tell you that. You are flimsy. For me to stay and burn a while, I'll need the one with the fetching fermions.
Ugh! Gunsmoke, stop! Speak to me, not through me. It's my will. Mine.
Quitting didn't take fully?
It did. It's me, I'm me. Those tethers I mentioned still stick to my skin.
If Maya really thought she was inevitable, she wouldn't be trying to stop us. Push through.
Everything's being scrambled by a Vex disruption signal. Follow the cabling and we should find the source.
You never tire of learning the same lessons. Your response is not necessary. This is not a conversation. You're only meant to listen. How readily you obey fate. A leader without agency. A discarded puppet wrapped in her wires. And the weapon. Guardian, the Nine flatter you and themselves. But my enemies do not threaten me, because I do not allow it. I command their passivity. They cannot raise their weapons.
I will drag the past to us if I must. That's her plan, isn't it? She knows the Nine can do things the Vex can't.
Precipitous moments. Her tone will change soon.
Yes, it will.
I feel Nine crowding the corners of my cortex. Don't let them in. They'll burn through any non-emissary.
There it is, Guardian. That Vex mine has the capsule we need. I don't care what Maya says. We're on her doorstep and she feels it.
I've had enough of this wall in my brain. I'm looking forward to seeing it crumble.
The mine's defenses are linked to a series of shielded confluxes. I bet we can take it out with this. That's it, Guardian. Bring them down. That should be the final Strangelet capsule. We did it. The quarantine field is failing.
We just detected a shockwave from the singularity.
My connection is still tethered. Ikora, I'm letting 9 in. Talk to me to talk to them.
We have questions.
Commander, answers later. Bask. Perihelion around my maypole. But I do have a message for the weapon-to-be. Guardian, we knew salt water would evaporate. Missiles aping at solar flares would collide. Humanity was destined to burn. 3 and I, well, we looked at the Valley of Unknown Space. We saw our nature would nurture the conditions for uppercase light. Your resurrection was enabled by our hand for this purpose. Your body will be the foundation for a peace unset. For this you were positioned, set into orbit. This and 3's message to come. Always loved warming your armor, Sunshine.
My will is my own. It's as frightening as it is freeing. Don't misunderstand me. I didn't choose to be a Lightbearer. I did choose to be an emissary. And I chose to leave. I don't miss either life. I choose to bear truth. To share fragments I've stowed away from beyond the borders of known space. The knowledge I keep will save others. But first, there is a piece of myself that I left buried to grow in old soil. My ghost, Gaul. We planted violet petals from the Golden Age. My hands, their shell. After we leave here, that's where I'll go. One brief respite until fate calls us back to right the impossible.
Everyone, we have the last Strangelet capsule. Guardian, we need to take this to the Altar of Relativity and get that door open.
This is it. I'm finally gonna learn why I'm here. Big moment. For all of you too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Round of congrats to everyone. But we're not out of the doghouse yet.
Drifter's right. I'm sure the Archon will be on the move soon now that the quarantine is down. And when he does...
Quiet. Yes, you have reached your goal and torn down my collective's quarantine. This is marginally impressive, but not beyond expectations. You are free to enter and play out your adventure. As I have said, I concluded my business there long ago. All that is left is to see if the Guardians really do make their own fate. Or if you will let the Nine puppeteer your power to their whims. Remember that it is they who manipulated you. They who spent your lives so recklessly to save themselves. They who see you as something less. All I am doing is all I have ever done. Improving a broken system. You may remain shielded. Or be drawn into a losing battle. Goodbye, Guardian.
Guardian, drop everything you're doing. The reactor for the Academy is experiencing criticality. If we don't hold Meltdown, it'll bury not just the Ionians, but trigger the Singularity's expansion. It's all at risk. Guardian, lead us in.